Welcome back. We were ambushed by pirates. And our boatmaster, our captain. Question is, did he lay the trap? Did he knew of the trap? Or... I mean, we're sailing to join a war against pirates. It's not unsurprising that we should be attacked by pirates in our way. Are we going with that option?
Don't be naive. This was no random attack. They were out for blood.
It is quite unusual for pirates to attack any ship, let alone a heavily armed Roman galley. They prefer to attack lightly defended coastal towns instead. It's less risky and more profitable.
Well, let's go talk to the man.
Well, you've heard it.
Geminos, you steered us into a trap.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I had nothing to do with it, I promise. They came out of nowhere.
Silence! You utter nonsense! By Mars, it is the sea! How can anyone come from nowhere?
We cannot execute a man based on no evidence. Besides, we need our Triarchus to make it safely ashore.
What do you say, kid? What do you think we should do?
Why are you asking me? You are the primus. This kind of decision is your responsibility.
I'm just a humble Canturio, albeit a particularly well-dressed one. Lucullus has greater plans for you. Your father's dead. The time to rely on others to make difficult decisions for you is gone.
Why do you want him dead, Gladiator?
We are close to our destination, and we can reach it without him. If there is a possibility that he is working with the enemy, we cannot risk to let him live. Mercy, doubt, hesitation. These are all openings that the enemy can exploit to kill you. This man's value to us is far less than the threat he may pose.
Gaius, if pirates don't attack ships, as you say, why would these ones make an exception?
We are, many of us, important people, on our way to join the action against Lesbos. Is it not conceivable that the rebels heard of us? The Kingdom of Pontus is known to sponsor pirates, to harass and weaken Rome. I do not believe we have any reason to suspect our Triarchus of colluding with them.
So the Gladiator wants him dead. And a Roman friend here... he doesn't want that. What? There was one truth to it. What's done is done. We're still at high sea. He's a sailor. And there's nothing to gain from executing the Triarchus now. We can still execute him later. If we see a ship coming, we can still execute him. But killing him right now, there's no gain. So we're going with 2.
Very well. We shall spare his life. But remember, mercy is a luxury you will not always be able to afford.
So we have 2 options. I disagree. The cost of mercy is a price I will always be able to pay, or perhaps. But in this case, we certainly can't afford to lose our Triarchus. We still have to reach Lesbos. We're going with 2, of course, the logical thing.
A wise choice, my friend. Killing the Triarchus of our ship in the middle of the sea would have been inconvenient. Indeed.
Thank you. If you ever again need the help of a skilled navigator, I am at your service.
Rowers, up the tempo! And keep your eyes open.
Pirates on the Mediterranean. What is that? Character creation. Our other character. Our class, okay. Sagittarius. The ability to strike at a distance makes archers. Okay, so we have 4 classes. We have Princeps, heavy one. We have Veles, medium. We have Sagittarius, archer. And we have Triarius. Triari! What? speared ones. Our main character as a bulwark of civilization. He will be a princeps. Of course. Heavy armor and sturdy tower shields give Rome's frontline infantry unparalleled survivability. I mean, and he is extremely important, so this is the way. We're not going to make him a Velas. A noble one becoming a Velas. Oh, no. He's not going to become archer. Triarios. The third line of Roman legion can reduce the effectiveness of enemies and improve the performance of their allies. Our teacher is that already. So we will become princeps. Most straightforward class to play. Well done. To myself. What? Sorry. Subclasses. We will have 3 subclasses later on. Defenders focus on survivability and protecting allies. Vanguards charge into the fray and excel at using their shield as a weapon. And veterans lock down enemies and resist enemy attempts to do the same to them. We will become a defender. We will focus on protecting allies. It will be done. We can choose between 3 starting skills. A defender. We regain 2 stacks of strong, we had that already. Then we have frighten. Minus moral to all enemies within range. That's not bad. And knockdown. Oh dear. Applies knockdown to enemies. Unable to take any actions. Cannot block, dodge, parry, or resist attacks. Standing up will cost the character half their movement. I like that. But, I mean, okay, brace, very powerful, defensive skill, but we're early on, and we will probably need an edge in battles, since we have a high difficulty, so we're going with knockdown. Alrighty. Confirm. War can take years. There's no time limit, so go ahead and take as much time as you'd like to explore the world map. Act 1, Asia Minor, 1st century before Christ.
Gentlemen, welcome to Lesbos, the pearl of the Mediterranean.
An ugly nest of pirates.
An impenetrable fortress of pirates, more like. With an infinite food supply thanks to the strength of their fleet.
We shall find a way to limit this infinite supply, then.
You think like an imperator, Gaius. All right, people. This is Lucullus's war camp, the heart of our operations in this territory. You have been seaborne for a long time now. I suggest you walk it off. See the things you have to see, and meet the people you have to meet. The consul waits in the command tent. Don't be too late if you don't want to see him angry.
Alright, trial by fire, audio. Finally talk to Lucullus when you're ready to proceed. Yeah, we're not ready to proceed yet. So there's a big ass gate. You cannot leave right now. Okay, I like this. A classic, there you are. Sign. Making everything transparent. Horses, okay. So there are a couple legionary guards. What can we discover here? Let's talk to our people. What is our teacher's wisdom?
Dominate.
How are you doing, Xenodos?
I am hungry and my face is wind-burned, but at least both of my feet are planted on solid ground now.
Why would Mother send me here, of all places?
To save your life, of course. She firmly believes the Witelli killed your father. Sending you here was the best course of action.
I don't want to be a soldier. I just want to save my family.
The Moirai rarely care about our wishes. And sometimes, to do one thing, you have to do another thing.
What do you know about the consul?
Dominus Lucius Licinius Lucullus was a close friend of your father's, and a supporter of your mother's efforts. He is now the closest thing you have to a father. You ought to keep this in mind.
By the way, he talked about Moirai. I'm not sure if you realized, but these the Romans believed that there are several gods, and Destiny had several goddesses attached, and the Moirai were the goddesses of destiny. Do you need anything?
Besides a good wine, a warm bath, and a thorough massage, not much. Thank you. But you should think about yourself, Domine.
What should I do, Zeneros?
I would get used to my surroundings and visit the consul as soon as possible. We're here to accomplish something. Time to find out what it is.
I'll talk to you later. Alrighty, and our gladiator, Bestia Tabat.
Salve.
Salve. You're Bestia Tabat, right? I'm Lucius Fabius Leonis.
I am called Bestia Tabat indeed. You fight well. I noticed it.
May I ask you a few questions?
You may ask, and I may answer or not.
Your name is quite unusual. Is Bestia your family name?
Your name is unusual. Tabat is the name that was given to me by my father. Bestia is the name I took when I earned my freedom. I chose it because I have fought and defeated many beasts.
Where are you from?
I was born in Mauritania, but I'm a Roman citizen.
Have you ever fought in a war before?
Until I undertook this voyage, I fought every single day in the arena. But wars? This will be my first.
You were a gladiator. You must know much of a combat man. Any advice to give?
I recommend you to not die. Honor matters little. He who stands tall in the end will always be the winner.
Stand in the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. Anyway, what can you tell me about the commanders here?
They say Lucullus has the greatest military mind in Rome. I only know he is consul and imperator, but I don't understand what that means.
Consul means he's one of the 2 men elected to rule all of Rome this year. And he is imperator because he holds the authority to command the legions of Rome. How have you lived in Rome without knowing what these titles mean?
This is my first time seeing a senator outside of the spectator stands.
So, we have 2 choices here. We can go a dialogue tree. Authority in the might and democracy. We're going with democracy.
Ah, like a king, but temporary.
We Romans do not like the word king. That's how they killed Caesar. They claimed he wanted to become king. You see? Back in the days, was it the Etruscans? The Romans were ruled by a foreign king, to say. And that memory left bad taste in their mouth. And, well, that's the story. And that never changed. That is why Princeps, the first among many, as a Roman leader, you couldn't call yourself king. No, you said, later on, a very clever boy said, I am the first citizen amongst many. It was a clever way. So we have fought hard to build a republic for all Romans, free of tyranny of kings. You know, that's important here, to build a republic for Romans. We built a republic for Romans. So if you're a Roman, the Roman Empire was cool. But if you were not a Roman, that might have been attached, life might have been attached with certain grievances and problems.
Free of the tyranny of kings, perhaps Romans prefer other kinds of tyranny.
You did not like the Triarchus, did you?
You will fail again and cause the death of someone you care about. And that death will be your doing. Mark my words.
See you on the field of battle, Master Doubter.
Does Thermus seem like he knows what he's doing to you?
Him and his whole legion seem like they haven't the faintest clue.
This looks beautiful. I'm not sure if you realize, but most depictions of ancient armor are wrong. Often at times Hollywood is mixing certain ages, certain stages, because it looks cool. For example, fully plated knights in medieval movies. Even though there were some fully plated armors, most of the knights didn't have that. It was not feasible for battle. It was heavy to carry. It was extremely expensive to maintain and to produce. And it didn't give you the edge of battle, since one man was worth little. Manpower was more important. But then again, it looks cool. Just like them. Just like him. With his big ass shield, I want that as well. Before the game ends. Okay, so there's a bath. The Romans, public bathing and hygiene, cleaning was of great importance to the Romans. That's why they had public bathhouses. That's why they built these huge aqueducts that brought fresh water from the mountains into the valley, into the cities. Roman architectural, Roman engineer, it's awesome, it's genius. It's a pity. Medieval ages, the Catholic Church effectively cost humanity about a millennia. Think about where we could be today if people had picked up from Roman engineering, from Roman ingenuity. I mean, Romans weren't the most clever ones. They didn't invent all of it, but Romans were intelligent. They didn't force people their ideology into their throats. The Romans allowed many civilizations their gods, their beliefs, their cultural heritage. But they ensured that their children would be taught Roman values. So the adults, Roman didn't really give a shit, but they ensured that the future generations would be pro-Roman and that they would start believing in the Roman gods and all of that kind of stuff. And Romans were genius in adapting. Romans adapted technology and knowledge that they deemed superior to theirs. The Romans were not arrogant in believing that they had the answer to everything. No, the Romans were always ready to adapt something that was superior to their knowledge. Weapons, technology, architecture, culture. I mean, the entire Roman religion is basically an adaptation of the Greek one. And, damn. Rome was an impressive place. Who is here? Okay.
The pirates are getting bolder. They attacked another one of our galleys this morning.
Geminus tell you too?
That's right.
This is the second time his galley's been attacked, and yet he still lives.
Second time. Interesting. Is this blood on the ground from training? Or did they spray ketchup? I mean, they did not spray ketchup. I thought for a moment this was a place where they tortured or killed prisoners, but in a training area? That would be odd. I guess it's just blood spilled from training. Is there anything in there? Open. No, they're empty. Okay. Do we have a map? M? If I press M for
Saw
map, nothing
Agrippa
happens.
harassing that old Servus with the limp again.
That small-dicked bully. Did you tell the Praefectus?
He won't do anything about it. Agrippa is connected back home.
One day that man is going to fall out of a watchtower to his death. It'll be tragic.
Don't joke about that kind of thing.
Oh, I love the Roman setting and I love the graphics here. I guess, okay, Lucullus, that's our goal. We have to get here, but we know it. We're not there yet. Let's see if we can discover anything else. I love the Romans. I'm going to discover a lot. The gameplay might be a bit slow for you. I enjoy the setting. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy Rome. I enjoy history, at least the good kind. And can I get? Oh, we can't get there. Interesting. That's hard locked. Okay. I guess we've seen everything.
That other legion. Bit wet behind the ears, aren't they?
Everyone starts out that way.
True enough. Soon they'll be veterans too.
Or they'll be dead.
Damn, working an artillery. I'm not going to call this a catapult because technically I believe Roman didn't have. Yeah, this is not a catapult. It's not a mangonel. What was the name of this artillery device? Oh dear. Oh, this giant saw. Damn. All these a smaller one. All the small details. This is a beautiful. Apologize. Beautiful game. Ah, sort of ballista. And even one, that's one constructed. And here we can see several parts of it. The stand where it's on, the long barrel where you'll put on the, bolt. There's construction there where you get some rope and, use the force of pulling it back to release the bolt. I mean, darn. Yeah, this is old school. I don't care. I like it. I would love a new Assassin's Creed in the Rome setting. I mean, in Origins, we already dived a bit into Romans. Caesar and Cleopatra and all of it. But to be able to play in ancient Rome with Ubisoft's love of detail, at least for architecture, story isn't that great, and combat isn't that great, but overall, it's a window into a world long lost. And usually Ubisoft takes its time to study on ancient architecture and city layouts and all of that. So, an Assassin's Creed set in Rome, that would be beautiful.
This is not going to work, as long as the rebels keep receiving supplies by sea.
We will need to cut their supply lines. It's an operation for our occulta speculatores.
No, we need to greet Consul Ave Lucullus. We have arrived as requested.
By Jupiter, you sure have grown up, haven't you? This is the promising young man I was telling you about, Thermus.
Quite unassuming, but full of potential, I guess. Prime material for the speculatores, if he can prove himself.
What are the speculatores?
A special cohort assembled for particularly daring undertakings.
Soon enough, you shall see the kind of thing they are tasked to carry out.
Oh dear. Administration! Nope. Gladly, the chance to prove myself is what I've come here for.
There will be ample opportunities for that, my young ward. A trial by fire is what you need. Now pay attention. We've been in a deadlock here on Lesbos for some time now. My co-consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta, is engaged against King Mithridates of Pontus in the east. Mithridates is using the pirates of Lesbos as his navy.
The fortress of Mytilene here is well protected, but it also has a weakness. There's a mountain pass we can utilize. I will lead the assault myself.
I volunteer for the vanguard. If my uncle can defeat Pontus, I can surely handle Mytilene.
So be it, then. Meanwhile, you will prove yourself as a leader, my young ward. Take Caeso Quintius Acollinus, your Servus Cineros, and that gladiator who came with you on the ship. You will meet up with Iulius Calidus of my legion Speculatores. Your mission is to sneak into the harbor and destroy the enemy ships any way you can. I expect you have questions.
I was given the impression that I was to serve as your tribunus.
If you're worried about your future political prospects, have no fear. We will tell everyone you served as my tribunus with great distinction.
Why can I not take part in the main assault like Gaius?
If you are fast, you may yet play a part in that. But for the assault to succeed, you must do this first.
I prefer to choose my own people.
Prove yourself, and you will be able to name your companions. However, you will want Calidus on your team. Trust me.
All of this is just a secondary operation to Cotta's campaign?
That doesn't make what we're doing any less important. Mithridates has a dozen warriors for each of our legionari. Defeating Pontus will require patience and caution. Regaining control of the Aegaeum Mare is a crucial step in cutting off Mithridates' supply lines.
No more questions, Consul. I do... what I'll do? What needs to be done?
Wait. Are those your father's old weapons? I'm sure they mean a lot to you, but look. The leather is brittle. This won't do. Visit my smith, Sextus, and get yourself properly equipped before you go.
Ah, leaving the area. When you're ready to leave the area, look for this icon. The leaving area icon. To find an exit on the world map. To the world map. Talk to the smith Sextus. Get better equipment, of course. Now let's talk to Gaius Julius Caesar. What? 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 But he's not the Gaius Julius Caesar, yes? I mean, that... What?
Solway.
I didn't notice before. He's the Gaius Julius Caesar! The setting has just become extremely interesting. You're a very interesting man, Gaius.
Interesting? I shall accept this as a compliment, but prepare to be disappointed. To the extent of my knowledge and ability, I shall try to be as helpful as I can.
I'm sure you will be. But as an archer... The first time I've travelled so far from home.
Indeed. Staying in Rome became, shall we say, politically disadvantageous to me. That's why I left it. Like you, I've never been to Lesbos before. I did my homework, though, in case you have any questions.
So, what do you know about this island?
Lesbos is one of the most important islands on this sea. Some cartographers call it the Horse Island, on account of its shape.
Why are the pirates here?
Location, I would guess. The island has countless coves and natural harbours for pirate ships to hide in. Not to mention the massive fortress in Mytilene.
Our army is vastly superior to these Greeks. I don't see why we can't simply wipe them out.
Be that as it may, their position here is superior. Mytilene is right next to the sea, and their fleet brings them supplies constantly. It's a stalemate.
There's something else I want to ask you about.
Of course.
Do you think that Triacus was working with the enemy?
Does it matter? For the sake of this discussion, let us say he was a traitor. In the end, we are triumphant and the pirates are dead. The Triarchus, if indeed he worked with them, now knows he picked the wrong side. In a war like this, allegiances are rarely about ideology. The common person wants nothing more than to be on the winning side, and we have shown Geminus that the winning side is ours.
A wise man is Caesar indeed. This war camp looks like a town itself.
Fascinating, isn't it? The Legion can build a fortified camp like this almost overnight. In my opinion, that is the foundation of Rome's military might.
That is indeed impressive. Rome was famous, or is famous, for not only building mighty streets. I mean, you might have noticed in the course of the Second World War, highways. The German dictator Adolf Hitler, he wanted to build several highways to move troops fast from point A to point B. And that was the main purpose of the large Roman streets. You might have heard of the saying, every street leads to Rome. Since the Romans built giant ways, huge streetways, spanning thousands of kilometers through their empire, so they could quickly bring troops from point A to point B. Which is why the Romans had a very great, deal of importance set upon the people responsible for building ways and footwear. If you want your soldiers to go from point A to point B, you need two things. Oh, well, a bit more than that, but you need to get them good shoe wears, because they need to march a long way, and you need good streets. Leveled, good streets. And the Romans did that in great style.
Wait. Listen, you seem trustworthy. I may have need for your help on a rather sensitive matter.
My Imperator! Of course you can trust me! Whatever it is you desire.
That is good to hear. Keep in mind the matter I'm about to mention is rather personal in nature. Your discretion would be appreciated. I've been keeping a detailed account of our journey ever since we left port. Shortly after our arrival, however, the journal went missing. I believe it to be stolen by one of the Centuriones.
Stolen? You stole your Caesar! That is a crime punishable by death. Sorry for... Are you sure it was stolen?
I'm reasonably sure. The journal might be misplaced, but I find this to be improbable since I write regularly.
Oh my goodness. What makes you think it was a Centurio who stole it?
I have seen a particular man walking out of my tent. As a matter of fact, I have already confronted him, and he pretty much admitted his guilt.
What? What if he's lying?
Admission is the king of all evidence. To what end would he incriminate himself? That doesn't make much sense.
This is a serious accusation. And if true, a serious crime, we should inform the Primus Pilus.
Roman law is valid in Rome, and our perpetrator knows this. This is a personal matter, and therefore it should be solved personally.
Why don't you just simply walk up to the Centurio and retrieve your property yourself?
That I have already tried. He threatened me in a way. He said if I continue bothering him, he would read the contents of my journal publicly.
I don't understand. What's so threatening about that?
It is my private journal, wherein I write my private thoughts. I am not ready for those to be publicized.
Well, very well. Tell me what I can do for you.
The Centurio is called Agrippa, I think. He hangs out with his friends near the tent over there. I thought perhaps you could convince him to hand over my journal.
Yeah, we've heard
Needless
that
to
name.
say, I would like to keep the contents of the journal private. I would appreciate if you'd refrain from reading it.
Okay. let's see. First, we're going to end the episode, and next time we're going to help our new friend Gaius to become emperor. Even though it's going to take a couple of years, but we'll see.